Welcome to another WML Document Platform screencast. In this screencast I'm going to show you the process of setting up a virtual machine. I'm going to be using a PDF Plus disk image to create a VMware virtual machine. So the first thing I'm going to do is log into my VMware infrastructure. Now this is a VMware system running on another laptop that I'm using. It's just sitting in another room at the moment. The laptop's name is Seb Vostro, and we're looking at the web interface of the VMware infrastructure on that laptop. It's a product called VMware Server, which may or may not still be available. And you can see we've got 4 virtual machines currently configured, one of which here's a preprint running. I could take a look at that preprint. It tells me that it's got 256 megabytes of memory here. I've given it 2 processors, and I can take a look at the console of that system. I click here. It just takes a few seconds to give us the console, and there it is, just the console of the system. So how do we go about creating a new one? The first thing I need is the disk image file, which you can obtain from WML. I've got a folder here called Original Images, and in that Original Images folder I've got a VMDK, that's the VMware disk file image. Let's get rid of Skype there, save it getting in the way. So this is the disk image file, and the VMware virtual machine will use this as its actual storage. So what we need to do is, to avoid destroying or changing this original disk file, this is as downloaded from WML, I'm going to make a copy of it, and hopefully I'll be able to paste it in here reasonably quickly. Yes, good. So we'll use this one. I'm going to rename it now. I'm going to call it Screencast 1. So that it links it to the virtual machine that I'm going to create. You can see the disk file for the preprint 1 virtual machine up here. Okay, so that's the disk file of that one. As you can see, the preprint disk file has grown somewhat. It's 155 megabytes, whereas the original screencast one, which has just been created, is 77 megabytes. Okay, so I've placed my disk file in my virtual machines folder, and I'm going to go to the VMware infrastructure web interface now to create the virtual machine. So up here I go to virtual machine, create virtual machine. I'm going to give it a name. You guessed it, Screencast 1. On to the next screen. All the WML Document Platform systems are Linux, and you want to choose Other 2.6x Linux 32-bit. Okay, and then we go on to the next screen. The minimum memory that we need is 256 megabytes, and one processor is fine for this demo. So I'll just press Next now. I'm going to use that existing virtual disk, so the second option here. I'm going to click on this link, and I have to go and browse for it now. So click on the browse there. Here's my disk inventory. This location that it's showing me here is that virtual machines folder that you saw in the Windows Explorer view just now. So we should see down here, there it is, the file, and I'm going to use that. So that's all I need to do. You can see that this disk file has a capacity of just under 2.5 gigabytes, which is fine for many, if not most, applications. I'm going to add a network adapter to this, and I'm going to make it bridged so that it connects on to to my physical network, because I want to use it to do an HTTP post demo in the next screencast. So that's fine. So bridged is good. I'm not going to add a CD. I'm not going to add a floppy. I'm not going to add a USB controller because we don't need any of those. And that's it done. So I'm going to have it power on now, and I'm going to finish. You can see my screencast virtual machine has appeared there. If I click on it, here it is. Let's have a look at the console as it's booting up. Here it is, and it's already booted. You can see it's obtained an internet address here, and it is a WML PDF plus. I can bring up another tab in my browser and connect to that internet address there. So let's do that. Are we going to get there? We're not going to get there. Oh dear. The reason for that is the network that it's on. It's the .35 network. So let's just pause the thing and I'll get that. Okay, so our virtual machines come up with a slightly different IP address from the one that the Windows computers are on. So we're going to fix that by going back to the console. So let's get the console. Here it is. So I'm going to log in as the root user with the default password, and oh no, that's the wrong thing to do. Let's just log out. I log in as the admin user with the default password, and I'm going to manually set the IP address 192.168.0.78. Set a sensible net mask. Set the right gateway. Don't need to worry about DNS settings there, and that has now changed the IP address there. So if I go up to back to the new tab, 192.168.0.78, I can see it's loading, and there we are. We've got a PDF plus that we can log into and use. There it is. So that ends this screencast on setting up a VMware image to set up a PDF plus. Once you've got your virtual machine set up, if you need to move to a later version, then it's just a question of going to the firmware tab and uploading an upgrade image, and you can then do that as normal. It's not necessary to use the disk image to upgrade or to recreate the virtual machine each time. Now you can just treat it as a normal WML system. And that ends this screencast. Thank you very much for watching.